Hello and welcome to the JC or Liga channel. Now, first of all, I have to say I'm saddened to hear about the terror attacks in Barcelona, and I don't want to sound insensitive by having to do this and put it out on my Twitter account now, but the reality is I've got to go to bed in a few hours and I won't have any time to do this video between now and the weekend. So the show must go on. Now, the first game of the La Liga weekend is Celta Vigo against Real Sociedad, or the first game of Saturday. Obviously, I've already done a Periscope and a YouTube video for Friday's games. But in that game last season, it ended in a 2-2 draw, and I tipped up Real Sociedad to win because they had reason to win and Celta didn't. Celta were in the Europa League final, Real Sociedad were looking to cement their Europa League place, or at least their order in the various Europa League places at the end of the season. So again, 2-2 draw, we got burned. Now this time, however, Real Sociedad, you can have them on a plus quarter handicap, Asian handicap, at 1.83, which is 5-6. I think they're about 19-20 just to win last time. So the value is there, or what I wanted is there this time. So whilst arguably maybe it was a wrong time to bet the end of last season, although again, you've kind of got to bet on teams who have reason to win against ones who don't. But my point is, now seems like the time. So maybe that's not reason enough for you to bet on this, and if that's the case, then I think over 2.5 goals is also a good bet. Over 2.5 goals is available at even money. Both to score is slightly more desirable in that it's landed in 4 of the last 6 head-to-head against 3 of the last 6 head-to-head for over 2.5 goals. But both teams to score is 1.73, so a little bit short price, one might argue. Whereas overs is, again, as previously stated, even money. Now, it's been over in 3 of the last 6 head-to-head, 2-2 last time they played. And in the pre-season game, Celta Vigo, now under a different coach after Berizzo left, are playing very attack-minded football, scoring a lot of goals and conceding a few too. Real Sociedad, though less impressive, have been scoring a few and conceding a few as well. So, they've not been losing all the time, but it's Celta a little bit more impressive. Still, I've got my angle. I want a revenge for last time. You might be better served with over 2.5 goals, given what we've seen in pre-season games, if indeed you can read much into them. So, split stakes for me, Real Sociedad plus quarter Asian handicap 1.83 and over 2.5 goals evens. Your best bet might just be over 2.5 goals at evens. It's up to you whether you find my reasoning enough on Real Sociedad plus a quarter. Now moving on to the next game, or before I do, apologies about the background, a bit too noisy outside, so I've had to come indoors, but really I don't have obviously any kind of studio or any money for anything like that, I'm afraid. After my few months stint in England, then I came back to Gibraltar, I thought I'd got a really good job lined up, and it ended up being shelved till last year, so I went a couple of months without having anything at all, which I'm afraid blitzed a lot of my money. Anyway, show must go on. So all the Spanish football shirts, bar this one, are in England, because I prioritised other things in my suitcase, the PlayStation, loads of games and that kind of stuff. So not Spanish football related at all, although both have played in Spain, but we do indeed have a Kaká Brazil 8 shirt there and a Riquelme one as well, which is a bit battered. Riquelme, of course, should be number 10, but I bought that shirt before he was a regular with Argentina, and I think he played a few games with 8. Anyway, next game, we've got Girona, the promoted team. Many of you will remember at the end of last season, I think it was about the second, third last game for them, where they needed a point to guarantee promotion, and the team they were playing needed a point to whatever they needed, I can't quite remember, but you knew it was going to be a draw. The prices were very low and it ended 0-0. Now, 0-0 wouldn't be a complete shock in this next game either, because both teams are defence-minded. Girona, very defence-minded, not conceding or scoring much in the pre-season games. Atletico Madrid, as we know, have a very good defence. They don't score too many either, so there are two options in this game. It depends how brave you want to be. Under 2.5 goals is a pick, and you can actually get even money on that. Most are 19-20, but if you go on the goal line, you can get evens. And if you want something chancier, and perhaps you can argue this is the most logical bet, but first day of the season, Atletico Madrid to win and under 2.5 goals at 2-1. So first choice under 2.5. I think that's the pick. But Atletico win and under 2.5 goals for something a little bit chancier if you prefer. Now moving on to the final game of Saturday, that is Sevilla against Espanyol. A tremendous game last year where Sevilla emerged as 6-4 victors. 6-4 sounds like a baseball game, doesn't it? Anyway, in the reverse fixture later that season, Espanyol won 3-1 against Sevilla, but Sevilla had a big fixture pile at the time we played in Europe, so wouldn't read too much into that. But historically, it's a fairly high-scoring game, although it can be a bit hit and miss. There's been the odd 1-0 in there. Now, the dynamic for this weekend is Sevilla, as we know, obviously now coached by Eduardo Berizzo, and he plays similar style of football to his predecessor, Sampaoli. Benega's come back, a couple of players go in and out, but Sevilla were pretty good in pre-season. They won 2-1 in the Champions League qualifier away to a Turkish team who I don't really want to even attempt to describe the name of, and they'll play that Turkish team again soon, so they'll have one eye on the second leg of a Champions League game. Of course, for any club now, it's imperative that you get in the Champions League given the fiscal rewards on offer. So, I think, look, given the goals in history in the fixture, you would expect probably Sevilla to win and both teams to score, and Sevilla to win and over 2.5 goals. But, tactically, the safest bet, I think, in this game is we definitely expect Sevilla to win. Maybe if they've got one eye on, the other game in the Champions League, they're only going to win 1-0. And if that was the case, then Sevilla minus 0.75 Asian handicap, which I've bet on at 17 to 20, 1.85 is the pick for my money. But again, if you want something a bit chancier, Sevilla to win and both teams to score at 9-4. I think Sevilla and over 2.5 goals is 6-4, so not as appealing. Espanyol, coached by Quique Sanchez Flores, been at a number of clubs in Spain, and Watford, for those of you who watch English Premier League football, which is probably all of you. I do sometimes too, of course. Obviously not when it's up against a decent Spanish match. He's complaining that the team doesn't have enough defenders, so I think Sevilla should be able to get a couple of goals and probably win 3-1 or something like that, 2-0. But to cover the potential, we're just happy to win because we play in Champions League soon, 1-0 scoreline. The tip is Sevilla minus 0.75 Asian handicap. Now that's basically it for Saturday, isn't it? So I'll do another one of these, maybe a Periscope too. Quite honestly, the Periscopes are a lot easier to do than the YouTube channels, what with all the uploading, tagging. I'm even getting bored of writing in the description boxes now. But the Periscopes, I assume not everyone can view. So we'll crack on with these. Hopefully I can build up maybe a separate audience on the YouTube. But that's absolutely it. So good luck with your bets on Saturday. I'll be back with Sunday's Liga stuff relatively soon. And thank you for viewing. But don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And when I've got more money, of course, we'll get a better background. I may have to get one of these Patreon channels. So perhaps then you can donate to me if you wish. And we can build a nice background for the videos.